You're listening to 17 Carat K-Pop, the podcast that's a little bit of everything with a K-pop twist. From pop culture critiques to the history of K-pop to interviews with people in the K-pop industry and K-pop artists themselves, to concert and album reviews, to a deep dive into the discographies of different K-pop artists, to K-pop news updates, to stories about the music industry more broadly. This show tries to cover everything about K-pop and K-pop as it applies to the larger music and concert scenes. Visit 17caratkpop.weebly.com for more information about the show. That's 17caratkpop.weebly.com. Hello everybody and welcome back to 17 Carat K-Pop. Instead of yays and nays this week, I'm just going to list the top 10 biggest news stories that you need to know about, and then some rapid-fire miscellaneous headlines. Let's start with a few BTS-themed stories. Esquire just released their picks for the 10 best pop bands of all time, and they are The Beatles, Destiny's Child, Fleetwood Mac, Queen, Sly and the Family Stone, The Beach Boys, ABBA, The Temptations, The Supremes, and BTS. Saying about BTS, quote, "While K-pop as a genre has been around for decades, BTS is arguably one of the vanguard acts to pioneer K-pop's immeasurable worldwide success. With a fanbase that is aptly described as ARMY, BTS's beloved septet has rapidly redefined boy bands, fandoms, and pop music itself." Unquote. For the most part, I agree with these picks. The Beach Boys I would probably replace with a different group, but anyway, as they say in that quote, they really have redefined the pop landscape for what is viewed as acceptable conduct for boy bands to talk about, to wear, to behave. They're just setting such a good example for individuality, embracing who you are, and that is no hyperbole. BTS is truly having a global impact I could go on about for hours, but I won't here. Speaking of BTS, the music video outfits that they wore for the colorful rainbow explosion part of the Dynamite music video sold at an auction for Music Care's charity relief. Those BTS Dynamite video outfits sold for $162,500. One more story about BTS. Weverse magazine just posted an article that really hit home for me, and I think it also did for other ARMY around the world. BTS music really is giving a voice to people on a very deep level, and the way that they are using their music as an incredible tool for healing and for mental health awareness and coping. Here are some of the key takeaways from the piece. They talk about how it really helps just process trauma when you get to name it, or any sort of discomfort psychologically. It really helps to unpack it if you find a way to name it and identify it as a thing. And so they dive into the ways that Blue and Gray is actually a very therapeutic song to hear because it is giving a color to your feelings of despair. Once you, in a way, I guess, objectify that feeling, then it becomes something that you can detach yourself from. And so that's one of the comments that they dive into in this piece. They talk about sublimation, and sublimation referring to a mechanism for channeling your emotions through art. So there are different ways that you learn to cope with stress in your life or mental illness. And one of those ways is sublimation, which is another way of saying artistic outlets, and that is what BTS are doing, and also encouraging ARMY to do because they promote going to art museums and different art sculptures. They show a lot of art appreciation beyond just music and performing, and I think that is a great influence on fans who now have a new hobby, and new interest, and a new passion and admiration for different mediums that can speak to us. I really like this paragraph that talks about the song Dis-Ease, Dis-Ease, from BTS's latest album. Quote, "Countless people have lost loved ones and have been forced to put all their activities on hold because of COVID-19. Dis-Ease does not offer empty hope in this situation, but instead tells us we can grow by admitting to our pain and showing a willingness to accept comfort and to toss away fears to become stronger." While the song places the focus on the speaker, it also implies that this advice can be applied not only to yourself but to everyone, as we are all the same and ain't so special. BTS do not choose a side in the view that after a crisis like COVID-19, things either cannot return to the way they were, or that there is no choice but to overcome the trouble. The lyrics, "It's morning again, I have to deal with today," sound like BTS are putting forward an option somewhere between the two. The song Fly to My Room documents everyone's effort to find the will to hold on each day during the time of the pandemic. People become powerless in uncontrollable situations. The members spill out their emotions, lamenting how it's so frustrating, it's driving me crazy, and that the entire year got stolen. According to O, the psychiatrist interviewed for this piece, depression can lead to cognitive distortion, which in turn can lead a person to view even a familiar situation in a negative light and, if allowed to continue, this perception fixes in place like a habit. In order to remedy this negative perception, cognitive behavioral therapy alongside treatment with medication is used to help people look at their situation in a different light. They also get into the more specifics about how very specific word choices in the song Fly to My Room can really add to the impact of the song and enhance its meaning. Talking about how, especially in times of just totally unpredictable, chaotic things we can't control happening around us, it is more important than ever to find your anchors, how you define your home, your safe space, things like that. Quote, since their debut, BTS have made it a part of the group identity to tell their stories candidly and to expose their emotions rather than turn away from them. Starting with B, they have taken this a step further. They have gone beyond individual mental health to explore that which was happening behind the scenes all along, prejudices that we had collectively accepted without knowing. This piece really struck a chord with me, and I'm so glad they are so unapologetic about their advocacy for mental health and for talking about it, and that has never been more on display than in that piece, which summarizes how through their latest album, BTS proved what big hit entertainment is all about. Their whole slogan is, music for healing and comfort, etc. And that's what they talk about all the time. And just, they see the power that they have and the ways they can use their platform, not only as therapy for themselves, but then as a tool to help other people feel understood. And they are using that to the full extent. And that piece really helps bring home that point. Story number 4. GOT7 have officially started the next chapter of their careers, going on their individual pursuits. Mark is already geared up to release a single February 12th, and he just flew back home to LA. Bam Bam posted on social media this really emotional to see picture from when they first met, him and Mark, and they look so little. But now they're all grown up, and it's emotional. Anyway, Jinyoung has now officially joined with BH Entertainment, not to be confused with Big Hit Entertainment, BTS's company. Big Hit Entertainment it has some acting, but it's mostly focused on promoting musicians, musical artists. Jinyoung chose to go with a more acting-focused route, and so he joined BH Entertainment, which is a different company. This was confirmed officially on January 28th. BH Entertainment said in their statement that they plan to support Jinyoung, quote, as an actor and musician, unquote. Story number 5. The Seoul Music Awards were officially held on January 31st. Virtual, of course, and this is another award show that was kind of delayed to be official, so we may have talked about some of these winners already, but it was just made official, and the full list of winners was released on January 31st during this ceremony. The event was hosted by Shin Don-yup, Hee-chul, and Sooyeon. Sooyeon from Girls' Generation, Hee-chul from Super Junior. The boys and G-Idol both won for their performances. Rookie Award wins went to Treasure, aespa, and Hyphen. There were many more award winners. I could go on and on, but those are the big ones that I was most excited to see, as well as the fact BTS swept all the main awards. They got the Fandom Award, Album Award, Song Award, the Grand Prize, the K-Wave Award, etc. Speaking of award shows, I don't know why everyone is still so worked up, worried about what award shows this year are going to get canceled or postponed again, when we already at least got confirmed and got to watch the best award show of the year, the Mark Awards, from NCT, Super M, SM Entertainment. That Mark Lee has added yet another thing to his resume, and he became an award show host for the Mark Awards. The constant YouTube uploads, I think, is just really good marketing. It keeps people thinking about your group all the time. Watching NCT becomes a daily part of your life, so you're more invested long-term as a fan. He basically gave out yearbook superlatives to all of his fellow NCT members, which probably took forever to decide who gets which title out of the 22 other members he had to assign titles to. I feel like the behind-the-scenes process of choosing those award winners, I would love to see a documentary about that, or even just some sort of docu-series about not so much NCT, but the sociology behind NCT and working with 22 other band members. I would love to see more of that. Number 7, we have to talk about the show, Blackpink's online concert event. I was wrong about the wardrobe prediction. I thought it would be a lot of black and white, but it was quite colorful. But I do want to stick with my predictions that Lisa and Rosé will both release their solo debut songs by mid-March. Maybe by the end of February, but maybe more likely by mid-March, but soon. This show was really just over-the-top extravagant, and you could definitely see that they were working on the show and preparing for it for months, and it paid off. It really was just stepping back away from even being a K-pop fan. Just thinking about it as a super objective music critic told to review this concert, I would have to say it was just fantastic. They were so high energy, they looked so genuinely excited to be there performing and giving their solo stages their all and just having that creative input. They all just seemed like they really were able to personalize the show, and they were thriving because of it. They just all looked so energized and ready to go. The show brought in over 280,000 viewers, and the average ticket cost being like $30 to $40 meant that the show generated an estimated $10.5 million. I will include a link to a set list that goes in the same order as it did for the show on my weekly newsletter. But if you don't want to wait for that playlist link, here's the set list. You can get out a pen and paper. Let's go through this. They started with Kill This Love, which is a great song to start with. Crazy Over You, How You Like That, Don't Know What to Do, Playing with Fire, Lovesick Girls. Then Jisoo got a solo stage first, which was a cover of Habits by Tove Lo, and that left me over the moon because I love Tove Lo, and a lot of pop music enthusiasts do, and that song is just incredible on its own, but she took it up a notch. I did not expect her to sing that, let alone her own version of it. Then Lisa got a solo stage where she slayed this cover of Say So by Doja Cat, and she had this very cool flapper-style makeover. And I really hope, I don't know how possible this is, but I really hope for her solo debut, it's a song that is in that vein, kind of disco pop, and not just like straight-up rapping, because this is a new side of her I'd love to see more of. Then the 4 of them came back together on stage for Sour Candy, where they each kind of had their own set with their own group of background dancers, which was a cool concept. Then then Love to Hate Me, Then You Never Know. Then Jennie had her solo stage for the song Solo, where she performed an extended rap version, a new version of the song, with her own extra rap lyrics that she added herself. I really hope and think that we will get a studio version of that remix, because knowing YG Entertainment, they love remixing. Then Rosé got to debut her solo single called Gone, and I won't say much about that in case you missed the show and want to be surprised when it officially comes out, but just expect the unexpected. It is not at all the sound I expected, but that is not a bad thing. Then was Pretty Savage, Do 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 Do, Whistle, As If It's Your Last, Boombayah, and the encore was Forever Young. Overall, they did sing most of their best songs. I would have loved if they performed Stay, which I still think is one of their best. Unpopular opinion, but I think so. Overall, a very, very cool show. Story number 8 is a detour from the K-pop news because J-rock icon Miyavi has a big announcement. New design just for Japan right now, but the article on Guitar Player site hinted that an international version may become available soon, so fingers crossed for that. Someday in the future, maybe Miyavi's version of this new Fender guitar will be available outside of Japan. And it's called the Miyavi Signature Telecaster Electric Guitar. It includes a 5-way selector switch and a whammy bar, which is basically like a lever that changes the tension of guitar strings, so you can create like a vibrato or some other effect with it. Anyway, so I'm taking a second to nerd out over this guitar. It was designed with Miyavi's specific, unique guitar playing style in mind. He was very hands-on in the creation of this guitar. You can recreate his signature guitar playing skill. He has a very specific tactic for how he plays certain songs and how he plays the guitar in general. Story number 9. FNC Entertainment, the company behind Cherry Bullet and SF9, they are trying to distinguish themselves by branching off and having subsidiaries of their own now they have now decided that Cherry Bullet is officially going to be managed under the FNCW division, but the most notable change to their corporate structure is FNCB, set to be basically a subsidiary label that's going to focus on trot music, or at least that is the current plan. I will keep you posted based on how this structure changes, but it sounds like for right now, the company plans to have FNCW be the focus for promoting their girl groups, and FNCB the focus for promoting trot artists. Story number 10, Super Junior is delaying their album release yet again. It was postponed to January 2021, and now it's postponed again from February 16th to March 16th. I have a lot of questions about this, so I'm going to read the statement, and I don't know if this makes any sense, so here we go. Hello, this is Label SJ. To all fans, we have waited for Super Junior's 10th album with great patience. We kindly express our sincere apology. The release date of Super Junior's 10th album, which was originally planned on February 16th, has been delayed to March 16th. What has happened is certainly against our will, but we are putting all our efforts and hearts into bringing the best for the upcoming album. Due to unavoidable circumstances, the rescheduling was a painful decision for Label SJ. We are sorry for the multiple change of the schedule. We express our sincere apology on behalf of the Super Junior members who have also waited for a long time to greet you with a new album. Surely we promise to satisfy our invaluable fans with more perfect preparation and a satisfactory album. Thanks for your generosity and understanding. The line that stood out to me is that against our will, what happened is certainly against our will line, but I think that was probably just a lost in translation aspect of this. I don't think it was that dire. I think they meant it like, this is out of our control, just life circumstances. It's just odd how vague it is. This happened last time too, why it was delayed for January 2021 is because they cited quality issues and they needed more time to perfect the album. But to me, wouldn't it make more sense for artists to not even confirm with their label a release date until they had the album almost done or ready to go? It just seems odd that so last minute they're like, it turns out we need more time to work on it. I don't know if that's just an excuse, but I don't know what the issue would be. I don't know. It was a bit surprising and disappointing because I've been really, really excited for the show, and they were also amping up the excitement with the fact that Super Junior was performing new stuff at the SM Town New Year's Eve concert. So it felt like they were going to kick off the year with a brand new album with songs they had teased at that concert. But now, the period of time from that show to the album release will be so long that it's like that effort to hype it up is just kind of moot. I will keep you posted. Fingers crossed it actually comes in March now, so I don't know when it's actually going to be released. Here is a quicker list of some more miscellaneous headlines about what's been going on in the world of K-pop since we last had a headline roundup episode. As of recording time, yesterday marked the final day of the current trio emceeing the show. It's been a year, so this usually happens after a year. As of recording time, yesterday was their final show. I will keep you posted on who the next trio is when we find out. Speaking of shows, Sideshow Collectibles is gearing up to release their new collaboration with BTS. They're going to release a line of collectible figures of BTS. Visit side.show/BTS for more information. Vanner has rescheduled their online show through Studio PAV. It was previously set for a while back, but remember that was postponed because Vanner members tested positive for COVID. But now it seems like everyone is recovered and ready to perform again, so your tickets should be honored for the new date. You can also probably still get a ticket because they're still advertising the event as if you can. So go to Studio PAV's website for more information and tune in February 14th, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, 8 p.m. Chicago time zone, Central time zone. BTS and Blackpink are both nominated for KCA's Kids' Choice Awards. The ceremony this year will be hosted by Kenan Thompson, which is exciting, a Nickelodeon favorite, and just a favorite in general on TV. So March 13th is when we will find out. Blackpink and Selena Gomez's collaboration Ice Cream is nominated for favorite collaboration, and BTS's Dynamite is nominated for favorite song. BTS is also running again. They won in 2018, and they may win again for favorite global music star as the nominees for representing artist from Asia. It has officially been confirmed, and is now official that Aoki is no longer a member of CLC. Her contract has officially been terminated by Cube Entertainment, and it sounds like it was a mutual agreement that they would split ways. I hope she gets more chances to release solo music going forward, because she only had that one solo release promoted while she was in CLC, so hopefully she's going to get some backing and support for her solo career now. Yet another BTS update, because apparently it's BTS Day unofficially on the show for news. Map of the Soul 7 has reached 2.5 billion with a B streams on Spotify, and this is the best part, is that that's not their first album to reach that, it's their second actually. 2.5 billion streams. Some big exciting NCT updates. Taeyeon, my bias, and your new bias if you need help picking one, reached 500,000 Spotify followers, and he doesn't even have a full-length EP or album out yet on his own, but just lots of collaborations in singles, and so now he's reached 500,000 followers, the most of any individual NCT member on their Spotify profiles. Second big piece of NCT news, NCT 127 just reached 10 million Instagram followers. And lastly, Taeyeon's collaboration with Yoo Yeonjin called Cure has reached 1 million streams on Spotify. Bobby's new album has topped the iTunes charts in 12 regions around the world, and Dreamcatcher's new album, Dystopia Road to Utopia, just topped iTunes in 16 regions around the world. Some view count milestone updates. Ace's Favorite Boys remix video just surpassed 1 million views. Hyuna's I'm Not Cool video just surpassed 10 million. Luna's Butterfly surpassed 40 million. BTS's Dynamite the choreography version passed 100 million. NCT U's Make-A-Wish 150 million. Blackpink's How You Like That 750 million. Blackpink's As If It's Your Last, 950 million. Lastly, Louis from Pentagon has his new military enlistment date confirmed for February 18th. He will become a public service worker then. Stay tuned, because I have a really fun, kooky, out there, goofy episode coming of 17 Carat K-Pop, which should be out Friday, maybe Saturday, but later this week I have one more new episode for you all, and then Sunday tune into How to Stand. There's a really interesting interview I have planned for then. You'll see. And then next week, as always, I will have 3 to 4 new episodes, so stay tuned, and I will talk to you all soon.